XRP holders, we all need to strap in. At least that's what the analysts are saying, because we are about to witness the breakthrough moment that we have been anticipating for many, many months now for XRP and Ripple Labs, as well as the overall cryptocurrency market. In today's video, we're going to highlight all of these different catalysts that are leading us up into Q4 2025, which is going to be the final stand. We'll call it the final showdown for the bears versus the bulls, which I really think that the bulls are going to overtake those bears and also send us to a new all-time high and much beyond that. Now, remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button down below for that YouTube algorithm to get this video out to more people, and also consider subscribing to the channel. The market is looking fantastic. Everything is green across the board today. If you're holding a crypto and it's not green, then you're probably holding something kind of odd. But we're seeing it across. Dogecoin spiking up 8.1% at 27 cents for the first time in months and months. But also, more importantly, for all of us here that are watching, XRP, $3.09, $3.10 kind of teetering. Let's do a quick portfolio update from my premium custody account with I Trust Capital. Remember, there's always a link down in the description below if you want to have your own premium custody like BlackRock and Fidelity to ensure, again, the most important thing right now is not getting your crypto taken from you. $3.09 per coin. My current holdings are worth $16,679.16. All you had to do was hold. We're up about 2.6% in the last 24 hours, up $426.41. Absolutely fantastic. And there's a lot of reasons as to why the market is green. You can see Bitcoin above 116, XRP 309, Ethereum about to go back to its new all-time high, BNB breaking all-time high above $920. Majors are absolutely bullish, but the top three cryptocurrencies, XRP being the third there, is looking exceptional. And the biggest catalyst right now that is fueling the markets is the excitement around all the different institutions and banks that are saying, like JP Morgan, expecting the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates by 25 basis points or 0.25% next week during their meeting. We have all the pieces of the puzzles that we have been anticipating for quite some time, guys. So again, be ready to rock and roll. That's all I can say. Be ready and strap in. If you hold any XRP, analysts say to strap in, and here's why. Let's take the words of people that have been in the market for over 5 to 10 years. Because remember, this is my third crypto cycle since 2017, but 2021 was when I started creating content, end of 2020, going into 2021 cycle. And again, we're seeing literally the exact same things. And all I'm going to be here for is a voice to make sure, in addition to your own opinions, have at least voices you listen to. You don't have to take my word for anything because I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to steer you guys the direction that I'm going. But right now, it's still HODL time, and we'll talk about why. XRP holders may need to strap in for what analysts describe as the breakthrough moment ahead. With filings for XRP exchange-traded funds or ETFs already on the table, one crypto analyst stresses that the approval is inevitable. Once the milestone is reached, it could trigger a major break in the XRP price, paving the way for a long-anticipated bull rally. So the ETF approval to mark a turning point for XRP. According to the crypto market expert Mason Verluis, the long-awaited approval, and I might have mispronounced his last name, so apologies there. The long-awaited approval for of the XRP ETFs tied to it are no longer a question, but rather when. Mason also emphasizes in a video on X social media that filing processes are already in motion and approval appears undeniable regardless of whether it happens in 2025, 2026, or even 2027. He argued that the green light given Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs in 2024 sets a clear precedent for the launch of the ETFs for XRP. So XRP's bull rally has now resumed. The technical picture of XRP has also taken a bullish turn. Crypto analyst CW declared on X that XRP has broken out of its previous consolidating phase, where price action was stuck in a narrow convergence. According to him, this breakout signals that XRP's bull rally has officially resumed, guys, with traders forming a new trend pattern pointing towards renewed momentum. Based on this bullish setup, CW's chart suggests that XRP could soon see an explosive surge above $4.40 making a new all-time high. So that's what we all need to make sure we're prepared for right now. A lot of people have been kind of just bored of the market, stepping away, maybe even considering taking profits at these levels. But guys, this is not the time to profit take. Let's go back to iTrust Capital. The fear and greed index is up 3 from yesterday, but we're right now still at a very neutral market. There isn't excessive euphoria and excessive retail demand and even excessive institutional demand. We're not in the overbought territory yet. Remember, also amongst the top 3 cryptocurrencies, we're seeing Bitcoin hovering around its all-time high. XRP is down still about 20% from its all-time high. Compared to ETH and BTC, we still have a longer way to go for XRP to break its all-time high, which means I think a lot of liquidity will flow in. We're already seeing $5.7 billion of trade volume on XRP's chart. So again, that's another thing that you need to make sure you're embracing. Also, the other thing that I think a lot of people are not pricing in addition to the fear and greed index, is what historical patterns tell us. Even over the last year, remember back in 2024 when Donald Trump was officially elected president, the fear and greed index, when Bitcoin was just going on an absolute parabolic run, we saw that Bitcoin broke 100K for the first time ever in November, but also the fear and greed index. And a lot of people were calling it as extreme euphoria. We entered and only tapped extreme greed for a very short amount of time between November 11th all the way through basically December 16th. Only for about a month were we sitting in extreme greed. Now, the market today is still in the neutral, just bouncing off of fear. Meaning if we only look at the single sentiment analysis or index, that is the fear and greed index, we can kind of make assumptions that between now and extreme greed, we have a long way to go for new liquidity, new money. And mind you, the price action here today is a lot more bullish than it was at the previous extreme greed mark, which was the end of 2024. And the thing that made us tumble down was the Federal Reserve beginning to tighten, or actually decided to not reduce rates anymore after they did so, because inflation started bouncing back up. And Jerome Powell came out very, very hawkish. But for the first time right now, we have a dovish Jerome Powell for the first time in many years. We have global liquidity index at basically almost all-time highs. And now we're seeing Bitcoin, Ethereum, big tech, and everything else near its all-time highs. So all of these different things combined together kind of give us a really nice breaking point to tell us that the market is going to see new highs. So this is just an analysis and never financial advice. But all I could tell you guys is what I'm doing. And right now where I see XRP at 309, I still think it's extremely cheap, or at least you're getting in at a very neutral price compared to where it even was over the last 6 months when we broke all-time high of $3.68. I see it only says 356 here. And if you look at the overall chart for XRP, remember the next leg could be $4.40, $5, $6, $7, $8. But the direction that they want to take it, meaning institutions and retail adopters as well, remember, XRP's community is stronger that of the Bitcoin maxis and stronger that of the ETH maxis. And it's still ranked 3rd. So at the very least, I think from a market cap perspective, we could see XRP coin go to a $500 billion, even $1 trillion valuation before year end, meaning a nice 5 to 7x from here, which would put us nearly at the $20 mark before year end. Again, dubious speculation if you want to call it that, but let's see where the market goes. But right now, momentum is looking strong as long as no black swans slow down this momentum. Remember, guys, there's always a link down below with promo code YourPop8, $100 up for grabs with iTrust Capital. They are offering premium custody accounts, but in addition, also retirement accounts for those of you who want to trade in an IRA of some sort, a Roth, traditional, or a SEP. This here gives you the option to trade tax-free. So again, I would look into it depending on where you're located, but this is very specific to the United States, but also available in other countries as well. I appreciate your guys' support as always. That's all I had for you today. And until next time, as always, keep investing. Peace.